my start recording button. So everybody, welcome. It's a small group tonight, but we will get started on time and try to finish and answer as many questions as we can. Now, because there's really only 4 of you on here, if you have questions while I'm presenting, go ahead and ask them instead of writing them down. You might forget them. So anyways, welcome. My name is Rob Takamoto. I'm one of the franchise owners. We have 2 offices, Mississauga and Mississauga Central. And we also have Glenn on the line there, who is our cruise sales manager. So he's in charge of training. So if you have training questions, Glenn can also answer them as well.
Okay.
All right, so before we get started, just want to go over a couple of things. Actually, we're not going to mute everybody because there's only 4 of you tonight instead of the 20 some odd that we had the other day. Just if it gets a little loud, I'm going to get Glenn to mute you, like if you have some kids running around or dogs barking, just so it's easier for everybody to hear. Questions scheduled for the end of the presentation, but yeah, if you have questions in the meantime, you can either put them in the chat box or I guess, hey, for today, you just ask. Everybody got in, so not a problem. And if you guys need to leave early, I am recording this session. So what you can do is just drop me a quick note and I can send you the end of, or the recording of it. We'll record it, post it on our YouTube channel, and you can watch again if you missed some stuff or drifted off because I'm such a boring speaker. Who knows? All right. So
we'll just get Glenn to take over.
All right. Sounds like a plan. All right. So
come on, Glenn.
So our agenda for today, a little bit about the industry today, and I'll try to actually add some stuff with current events, as current as I can get them. So about us, so Expedia Cruises, and also our 2 offices and how we fit into the big picture. Talk about our vacation consultants and what they're like, and some pictures of that too. I'll also go over the tools that you get when you join our team, as far as training and technology, the marketing, our training programs, and then also our recognition programs. And then just if you're interested to continue on or want some more information, what the next steps are. All right. So I always love to put a pretty picture up here at the beginning. So we travel for romance, we travel for architecture, and we travel to be lost. And if you ever travel with me, I get lost an awful lot. But truly, it's one of those things that you...
Did you trick my husband?
Oh, well, it's a guy thing. We never ask for directions. And, well, I know where I'm going. I'm positive I know. And yeah, I usually don't. So...
You don't want to travel with Rob because his flights are always delayed.
Yeah, that too.
I don't want to miss my boat.
Well, that's why we send you in early. Anyway, our industry is pretty resilient. Now, right now it's kind of, and I don't want to use the unprecedented thing, but I mean, this is so unusual. We'll talk about kind of last year, and then I'll talk about kind of what I expect for the next little while. So last year, 30 million people cruised in 2019. And well, 2020 is pretty much a write-off with this COVID thing closing stuff down. But bookings for 2021 are actually already ahead of what they would have been in past years booking ahead. Cruise lines are working on their whole safe return to the seas with, extra cleaning and reduced passengers and stuff like that. Now, one of the interesting things about the industry is there are actually 117 new cruise ships planned to be built between now and 2027. And when you think of these cruise ships, they're between 3,000 and 6,000 people. Each one is close to $1 billion. So the cruise line is definitely based on their market research, knows that they will increase over the next 10 years, basically because the boomer generation will continue to travel, but The second demographic that works or is coming into play is the millennials who are traveling more than ever. So just a bit of kind of real up to the date information. Princess Cruise Lines yesterday announced that they're based on kind of the stuff that's happening in the United States, are going to pause their cruising out to the middle of December. So I'm pretty sure that most of the other cruise lines will follow suit in the very short while. It's just really unfortunate that Florida and Texas and California and New York is better now, but all those places that where cruise ships embark from in the United States are just terrible, terrible spots for COVID. So they really, in good conscience, can't really send people out of those ports. So a little bit about us. So Expedia Cruises itself started actually in Canada in 1987. It's a full service agency that sells kind of your complete vacation, so land, air, and sea. And we have just over 300 centers across North America. We actually have more in Canada than we do in the United States because we started here. And about 6,100 independent vacation consultants in North America. Our head office team is based in Vancouver, and there's about 100 people there that do all the marketing and accounting and all the cool stuff with computers and all that. We got purchased by Expedia in 2007, and actually, I don't know if you've noticed, but we rebranded from Expedia Cruise Ship Centers, which, trust me, is a really long email address. We changed it to Expedia Cruises actually just a couple of weeks ago. Fits better on the signs. I think it explains more to clients, that we not only do cruises, but we do everything Expedia does. So I think it's a definite plus for us in the next little while. So yes, an easier, shorter name, and this is some of the signage that we have to really show that it's not just cruises. We do land vacations, African safaris. We do that, Vegas trip. So we kind of do all of it. Now, we do about 60% of our business is cruise, so I'm pretty sure this year it'll drop off, and next year it really should come back. We were talking with the president of Expedia Cruises a couple days ago, and he said, yeah, next year we'll probably return to about 70% of what it was last year, and then back to kind of last year's numbers in 2022. But the Expedia group itself is a lot bigger than most people realize. Expedia last year did just under $1 billion in annual sales. So here's some examples of the companies that actually are part of the Expedia group. So a lot of people don't realize that Hotels.com and Travelocity and Hotwire and Orbitz and all these other things, VRBO for vacation rentals. What If is a large company in Australia. Home Away from Home is short-term rentals, almost like those. I can't even think of the name of it right now, but
Airbnb.
Airbnb. There you go. And actually, Airbnb, some of their we've got some of their inventory and some of our Expedia and search engines, so we're able to do some of those as well. So it is a very, very large company. All right, now about our two offices, Mississauga and Mississauga Central. So the Mill Creek or Mississauga original location started 31 years ago, and we have in our client base 41,000 people that we regularly send emails to and have purchased or intend to purchase cruises, and 11 years in the Credit View location with a smaller client base because it's been open a third of the time. We actually have 84 agents right now with, as I did the math the other day, and it's 575 years of combined experience. And that's one of the nice things about our office is almost all the agents work from either home or part-time in the office. And it's not about, they don't really do this to put food on the table. They do this because they love to travel and they love to help other people travel as well. In the last 4 years, the sales, the office and the sales have doubled. And it's really been that strong growth in the cruise industry. And also, if you look at the agents in our office, 13 of them are in the top 10% of all of those 6,000 agents in North America. And last year, we were actually number 7 in the Mississauga office and number 50 of all the centers with the Mississauga Central office. So one of the things that we like to show everybody is something we call our promise. And if you read the words at Expedia Cruises, we're navigators of spectacular vacation experience. And as part of the #1 brand in travel, this is our promise to you. Advice you can trust, best choice in prices, Expedia extras, more than cruises, and that we're always there. But when you look at the promise, it's not about trying to get always the lowest price, because as we know, the lowest price in an all-inclusive is that 2-star in Cuba, but you probably don't want to go there. You want a great or spectacular vacation experience within your budget. So what we do is that's what we're striving towards, to get that customer the spectacular vacation experience based on our knowledge and our expertise. And if you're new to the business and you really don't know a lot of stuff, you can always rely on those 85 other agents to help you out and to say, we have a Facebook page, and they will, you can put up the question and say, hey, what's the best resort in the Dominican for kids? And you'll get people responding right away. So it gives you a hand with where to start. So really, when you look at what we try to do, it's that long-term relationship. It's about helping people get the information to make a really smart choice to have that really cool vacation experience. And if you do that well, your customers will come back year after year after year. And of course, we do try to get them the lowest price, but the lowest price isn't truly what they want. They want the best value, which doesn't mean it's the lowest dollars. Okay, so why Expedia Cruises? We are market leaders in truly land and sea vacations. I don't like to say that we're the leader in it, because really there's not a heck of a lot of money in air travel, but certainly land and cruise vacations are certainly where we can make some money on it. We are the largest brand in the world, and one of the nice things about our organization is we pride ourselves on updating our systems and our computer stuff. And in fact, the crazy thing, we're going through we're at the tail end of a 5-year journey to upgrade our systems again. So we're actually rolling out a brand new system next month. So, and our system incorporates a whole client management system, booking engine, a search engine, all the training is there online, your billing and reports and your email system, it's all in there. And the nice thing about our system too is it is accessible from any device. I know Michael on the call today was trying to do it on his phone. He says that's too small for me, and I agree. For me, I need something bigger and I have to work on a tablet or a computer, but you can do it anywhere, anytime, and it's not that you have to download a program. It's all housed in Vancouver. So the nice thing is you don't have to worry about security. You do have to remember a lot of passwords, but no security is required. Especially in cruise, I mean, we basically, in Canada, we're probably almost 25% of the market share. So cruise lines love us, and because they love us so much, they usually give us exclusive deals or extra things on staterooms. So in fact, there are a lot of times if we have some group staterooms blocked off, we might even be able to sell cruises for less than you can buy direct from the cruise line. And at the very least, we'll have at least the same price as the cruise line. We also, because of our volume, usually get preferential supplier commissions. So, for example, I know Princess, we make 16% on cruises with Princess, where it starts with some other organizations. They start at the bottom percent, which is 10%. So even though they sell the same trip, we will make 6% more than they do. And then I'll show you some examples of our marketing and our training programs. And then really, I think for most of you, it's about the support of our kind of our local team, but also our corporate team in Vancouver that will help you build your business. And then the cool thing about this is the business has flexible hours and of course, what we're looking for, hopefully in the next couple of months, but probably not until January, some travel opportunities. All right, so you guys probably go, oh, well, I'm sort of interested. Who are the people that make really good vacation consultants? So usually they're passionate, resourceful, personable people, and they're really curious about, cool places to travel. They're usually service oriented because they want to build a business rather than try to get the quick sale at the lowest price. And they love, the fact that they have the Expedia brand behind them, especially at the very beginning where it's important to say, I'm a professional at this and you can rely on our support. But it's also nice to say I'm, with Expedia Cruises, which is a well-known name, as opposed to ABC Travel or stuff like that. Most of the people that we bring on have no previous travel experience, although lately, and I don't know if you've seen in the news, but there are a lot of travel agencies due to this whole COVID thing that are closing down. Trip Central is closed all but one of their offices. Flight Center is actually closing 70 offices in Canada in the next year. Marlin Travel is pulled out of all the Walmarts in Ontario. So there's a lot of people now that are actually consultants that are now looking to come over to us. What else do these vacation consultants have? They usually have a large circle of influence, and it's interesting because when you guys signed up for the seminar today, I actually kind of creeped you guys on Facebook to look to see how many people you have on your Facebook page and what was your LinkedIn page, what did it look like? Because certainly the more people that you know or that you have in your circle of influence, the faster your business grows.
Could you tell how many connections I had on LinkedIn?
Sorry, who's
It's
talking?
Deborah.
Oh,
It's Deborah.
I looked at it. I wrote it down on another page, but LinkedIn,
About 12,000.
yeah, LinkedIn you can see, and it was like, well, actually yours just says 500 plus. So,
Oh, yeah, I have 12,000.
wow. All right, so you're connected.
Yes.
I mean, the average person, it's kind of like, it's almost like a professional Facebook page. I mean, most Facebook pages average around 200 to 300. And quite honestly, yours was the biggest, well, and I couldn't tell how big it was because I think it just said 500 plus. But most people don't come anywhere close to that. So it's a great way when you update your profile to say, oh, this is where I am.
Well, it's a good tool for a resource, anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's definitely more business based. It's not so much the, look at my pictures of my cat or funny pictures of or here are my the pictures of the food that I ate last week and stuff like that. I mean, it's really more business connected. So certainly a much better platform to use. So that's great. I mean, if you have, I've honestly never heard of anybody have that many. So it's like,
Well, I belong to a very large organization, and we have 75,000 employees.
woo! All right. And you know each and every one personally. No, but yeah, I mean,
No, I don't.
I'm just kidding. But certainly that's I mean a built-in network for you to advertise too. So when we ask you to come up with 50 people that you should tell, I mean, well, you're going to have several thousand people you can tell, and that's amazing. And out of those, people, quite honestly, there's going to be people that cruise a lot. And even of those people that cruise a lot, it's kind of funny, even through this whole COVID thing, I've had so many of my regular clients call me and say, okay, I hear the cruise lines are reducing capacity next year, so I need to get my cabin booked already. And we've had so many bookings like that because they go, at some point, there'll be a vaccine, we'll travel, it'll be safe, there was, the swine flu and SARS and all those things. Eventually, we figure it out and get it under control. So they know. And then there's some people that go, "Ooh, I'm not traveling until there's a vaccine." But Fauci down
There'll
in
be
the
one soon. There'll be
yeah,
one soon.
Fauci in the States says he's pretty confident they'll have one in production by the end of the year that's shown to be effective. So looking forward to that. And
Hmm.
although the downside of that is there was a survey in the States that asked the people, if there was a vaccine, how many would take it? And it was only 50% of the people, which is crazy. There's a vaccine to prevent
Those are
this.
all Trump supporters.
Hey, I didn't want to get into that. But really, for the vaccine to work in a country, you need about 70% of the population to take the vaccine. So even though they'll have it, unless they can convince more people to take it, it won't happen. And yeah, I know. It's like, man, if they would just control it down in the States, the travel industry would rebound so much faster. But, it's
Hmm.
it's that whole culture of, it's kind of like that seatbelt law. I looked it up the other day and saw that the seatbelt law came into effect in 76. And that backlash from no, if I want to hit the windshield of my car in an accident, I want the freedom and the right to do it. And it's like, it took a long time to get people to go, no, this is saving lives. This makes sense. We should do it.
Hmm.
So it's kind of the same thing. So back to what makes people successful in this. So complete the online training within 6 weeks. It's, if you do 5 to 8 hours in a week for the first, 5 or 6 weeks, you can probably finish the training that quickly. But, there are people with full-time jobs or stuff happening, elder care, kid looking after kids, whatever it is, long days at their current job. It may take them a little longer, but you need to get through it, because if you don't get through it, you push it off, and it's 3 months, it's 5 months. Then you start getting busy
How long is
selling
the
stuff.
training? How
Um,
long is the
well, Deb, really, it doesn't end ever, because there's
training?
always new
But
ships
I'm
and new things.
initial.
But
I do training all the
The,
time,
yeah,
so
the core, the
facilitators,
core training is about, online training is about 22 hours. And
okay.
then we combine that with a 8-week course, 3 hours once a week, stuck with me.
Okay, and do you get certified after you get not mentally certified, but certified?
Oh, I've
certified.
been certified for a long time.
Yes, there you get certified. There are other couple requirements that you have 50 people in your database and 3 bookings in the 3-month period, and you get kind of certified. But you also, and I'll talk about it now because it's important to know, there's a requirement in Ontario to be certified by the um, Travel Industry Council of Ontario. It's TICO.
Tico.
Yeah. And so I think, Michael, you already have your TICO. It's a 50-question multiple choice. And quite honestly, I think it's way too easy to get in to be
And it's stupid easy.
well, I have had one person fail. So, and actually, I taught this travel and tourism at Sheridan College, and there were more than a couple of students who failed the TICO test the first time. but it's pretty easy. It's $35 to register and get tested. You don't have to recertify. There's no continuing education requirement. I think it's, honestly, in my opinion, it's too easy, but that's the requirement in Ontario. And then you need to join a TICO certified travel agency to be able to sell. But as far as,
Hey,
yeah, look at that. All right.
I got the manual.
It's and it really is mostly common sense. There is some memorizing, but it's 50 questions. You usually have to get 65%, so you can get, what, 17 questions wrong and still pass. It actually is
hmm
bell curved because they recognize that some of their questions are poorly worded, and so they actually bell curve you within the group of 20 students who write it at the same time.
hmm
Um, let's see. We like people to be able to commit to at least 12 hours a week of working on the business, either doing phone calls or training or doing some marketing, or, there's paperwork, all that kind of stuff. If you can't do 12 hours a week, what I've found is people get excited, they start in this business and they go, oh, I really can't find, 5 minutes a week to do this, and it just gets too hard to continue. So as long as you can, 12 hours a week, it's, you know, a couple hours for 4 nights, or 6 hours on Saturday and Sunday each, or whatever that is. As long as you can fit that into your life, then you can be successful. You need to be able to work your network in the community. So, kind of honestly, for me, I get some of my best clients, believe it or not, the baseball leagues that I'm in, the curling league that I'm in, from church, from cultural centers, and then obviously people that I used to work with, or that have known me from other jobs that I did in my past. So,
which curling league?
oh, I curl way out in Markham. I work cur way out.
Sam Heather?
No, oh shoot. Um, oh my
You don't
gosh,
remember?
Avonlea.
You really curl?
Yeah, actually I skip, so it's kind of funny. Hey, I just drive
I
there
curl
automatically.
too, which is why I asked.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Curlers curlers and golfers tend to be like, you curl in the winter and golf in the summer. They tend to be that outdoors, um, in that right income bracket. They usually love to travel. So we get some of our best leads from that. But you know what? I have friends from all the baseball leagues that I play in that love to cruise as well. So it's really just where people know you.
hmm
Um, People have to be not afraid to pick up the phone. I know it's, for some of you who have done any type of sales, sometimes picking up the phone is that hardest thing to start doing. But once you get going, it's pretty easy, because we don't want people to, what we call, cold call. We don't hand you a list and say, call these people. It's um, people that you know, and it's like, hey, I'm in the business. I just wanted to let you know. And hey, can I send you some information from time to time? Sure, no problem. Get your email address, and then we let our system send them information once, twice, 3 times a month, whatever they sign up for. And then we call them every once in a while, and at some point they go, hey, this is a great stuff. Can you help me book this? You have to be pretty good on the computer, and some of us, Michael, found it can get frustrating at times with just remembering passwords and signing in, because as you can imagine, um, every supplier we deal with, and we have over 100 cruise lines and land suppliers that we use on a regular basis, that they all need their password to be a little different, and some change more often, and it's just crazy. But you need to be able to research stuff. Like, I had a guy walk into the office just before I came on the call today, and he says, I want to fly to Morocco. Can I do that? It's like, oh, heck. In the 8 years I've been in the business, I've never had anybody ask me, and let alone ask me during COVID. So I had to quickly research what were the rules, and could he fly, and if he had a Moroccan passport, could he? And if he had a Canadian passport, could he? And then what are the prices and who was flying. So, and you need to be able to search stuff. And it was all there. I could tell you everything there is to know about traveling to Morocco now, but it's not certainly a question that comes up very often. All right, tools to build your business. So Glenn talked a little bit about the training program, and Glenn, maybe you can talk a little, expand a little more on kind of what we do for the people.
Well, we do things a little differently out of our centers, and we're one of the few centers that started this up when I came on board 4 years ago. Coming from a sales leadership background and doing training and stuff, and just my own personal self, learning online is a lot different than learning in person. I can't yell at the computer. Well, I can yell at the computer, I don't get this, but they're not going to answer back. So we actually created a complimentary training program that goes along with the online. And I can tell you right now, the online training, where it stands right now, is light years ahead of where it was when I started. There was no online training. You got handed a booklet and said, here, read through this and get going. So it is a really good training program. They're constantly revamping it, updating it, making it more relevant for today's systems, and adding more content. And but what we do is we add in the live in, normally in class. Lately it has been virtual, training once a week to sit down and and go through some of that, as well as kind of give it some real life scenarios, a little bit more in-depth training on some of the tools that you'll use. So we found that by doing that over the last 4 years, success comes a lot quicker, and you're more readily prepared to get that business going.
Got to unmute myself before I talk. All right, so that's a little bit, and quite honestly, I think that's what sets us apart even from the other Expedia cruise ships, or sorry, I got to get used to this, Expedia Cruises in the area. In the Toronto area, there's probably 30 different centers, but we're actually, like I said, we're actually the largest in Eastern Canada, single center. So we kind of take advantage of it and be able to bring on people like Glenn, who had tons of not only knowledge from industrial sales, but he was also a consultant with us part-time for a long time as well. All right, and then I talked a little bit, number 2, about the booking platform, and oh my gosh, that's, like I said, it's due to be released in the next couple weeks, so even I'm still haven't done the training on that because they haven't released it yet. Number 3 are award-winning marketing programs. I got to tell you, some of the stuff that our marketing guys come up with is truly amazing. So it's not only, you know, the print media, the Facebook advertising, social media, but it's also just the advertising to our client base, because these are people that have asked to get information. So we have a bunch of things that I'll kind of show you later on, but certainly amazing stuff. But I'll give you a couple examples of some just wicked cool technology. Most of our clients ask for kind of newsletters that come out once a month. And what we do is we actually record what time of day they open the emails on average. So, you know, there's a lot of people that have morning coffee and go through their emails. There's some that surf kind of at lunchtime. Some people are late at night or weekends. And so because we have across the country so many people to email these newsletters out to, we actually figure out when the best time of day it is to send it to them. So our email generally is in that top 50 of emails that you get sent to you. So around the time that you open it. The other program that is wicked cool is if you get these emails and you click on one of the links to, have a look at one of the trips, if you are on our website for, I think it's 4 minutes, because we wanted to eliminate the people who click by accident or just look real quickly. But usually we figure if you're on for more than 4 minutes, you're actually seriously starting to look. If they are your client, you get a automatic email that comes out to the client saying, hey, was thinking of you, wondering if I could help you plan a cruise or land vacation. I'll give you a shout in the next couple of days. You get a notice in your cruise desk that they were on the website, and the next day you can call them and they go, oh, that's amazing. I was actually just thinking about planning some travel. And if they don't, they just kind of ignore the email, and then we kind of block that for the next 3 months because we don't want to send one of those letters every time they jump onto the website. But it's just, how do you get top of mind? And this is just an automatic thing that comes from them going onto our website. So, Deb, you were asking about, what do you get when you finish all this? So it's all this certification, and yes, it's our International Cruise Academy. You get the official certificate, but it's not only just that. It's the follow-up stuff. It's the one-on-one. The support kind of, oh, I'm really stuck, and Glenn's really bad. He actually answers texts and emails till like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. Sorry, Glenn. I shouldn't have told him that. But you know what? Sometimes you get stuck late at night and you need some help. And I can't guarantee you Glenn will always be on or I'll be on. But, we try to make sure we support people, especially at the very beginning. We have lots of, we will have lots of regional meetings. We also do something we call boot camps, which we do again on top of the training classes that we do. We do kind of intensive kind of weekend training, and in fact, we got some bad news today because of Princess canceling cruises out to December. We actually had 20 some odd consultants that we were going to go on a week-long cruise on one of the Princess ships and get tours of the ship. And last year when we did it on Celebrity, we got a bridge tour. We talked with the captain and the guy in charge of all the rooms, and we got a tour of the galley and had a talk with the head chef and stuff like that, and really get a good idea of what goes on not only in front of for your clients but behind the scenes. All right, my thing isn't working here. All right, tools to build your business. So really when you talk about training, we want to kind of break it down for you. So obviously the biggest one for most of you, unless you've sailed on a lot of different cruise lines, is about product. So just the new ships that are coming out, and then different cruise lines, because maybe your favorite cruise line is Celebrity, but your client says, well, I want to go on a Viking River cruise, and you may have never been on that. So you need to know different cruise lines and their products and what they offer and what makes them different. And I think the most important thing you need to know about each of these products is, I would say, their point of difference or what makes them special, because some cruise lines feature, like Royal Caribbean or Carnival, it's about the fun on the ship. So it's the climbing walls and the zip lines and all that crazy activity stuff. But if that's not what you want something where it's quiet and relaxing, well, then you want an Azamara or a Celebrity cruise. Or if you want true luxury where you guys get, you get your own butler, you're looking at Crystal or Regent, things like that. So you need to know each of those products at least a little bit, or where to find the information. Prospecting, it's really how you build your business and how you use your marketing to help you get known out there. Selling, I think, it's kind of a misnomer because for me, it's not about how to sell. It's about asking great questions to find out what the client needs, and then knowing enough about the product to show them, here's the product that meets your needs. And I think if you can do that, ask great questions, figure out what they need, and present the right matching product, the sale will happen because they're here to look at cruises. And then it's servicing, because I believe that what sets us apart is our ability to service the customer before, during, and after the sale. And instead of some of these online companies where, once you book, that's it, service falls off. I know some of our online competitors, customers are complaining bitterly during this whole COVID thing where things were canceling and they couldn't get through to their online supplier to find out what's happening and how do I get a refund or a credit. And it really is about your ability to service the client, not only, like I said, before and during the sale, but kind of in between where they buy the trip and when they go, and then even after that. And then obviously we need to teach you on all the stuff on our cruise desk so you can take advantage of all the technology. And again, kind of our approach to selling, we call it the navigator's approach, is really about putting the customer in the middle, thinking about what they need to do to buy and not what we need to do to sell. It's about the service skills, and the sales skills to me is really asking the great questions and listening well. And then, how we put it all together, and that drives that personalization, the things that bring our customers back year after year after year. So one of the things Glenn loves me to show is, why is training important? And we actually looked at two consultants that started around the same time, and we compared kind of their sales over a 4-year period. And these names are changed to protect the innocent or the guilty. And it's, who completed the, Janet, we'll call her consultant one, completed the training in 90 days, has just over 1,000 contacts in her 7 Cs who are getting 350 of them are getting the email marketing. And over the 5 years is 2.5 million in sales. Consultant number 2 never actually finished the training, has 43 contacts, only 10 of them are getting email marketing. And over 5 years, she sold like $10,000 or $15,000 a year, and half of that was to herself. Really didn't get kind of into it and learn about it. And the longer you wait, the kind of worse it gets and the less motivated you are. So it really shows that get in, and at the very beginning, do the training, get to understand the stuff, ask the questions, and we hopefully, when we can really get people to come back into the centers as far as customers, spend some time in the office listening to other experienced consultants talk and ask questions and figure out what things match to that customer's needs. And that's really why I believe training is important. And I just threw in some pictures here of us doing our boot camp training weekends. Just, it is some fun. There is some studying, asking questions. There's a picture of Nancy, one of our franchise partners, teaching a class. And then last year on the celebrity ship, this is our group of consultants that went to learn all about celebrity. In fact, just up here, just beside Glenn is, yep, is that Sandra? No, where's Sandra? She's not there. Oh, there's Sandra. Sandra's the third one in from the left. She's actually the business development manager for Celebrity Cruise Lines for us. And she actually came with us on the cruise and got us a bunch of tours and extra little things to make sure we learn lots about the cruise line. And here's some examples of tours that we did. And, we want to experience everything so we can help our clients pick the best things. So there is some fun. All right. I probably don't want to spend a ton of time on this whole Partner Central, our business platform, but I'll tell you that it's really good and it's getting better. It is one place that is everything for you, so you can book and research and do your training and find your emails and run reports. It's all in one place, and it is truly something that is really, really helps people build their business. And then I said I'd talk a little bit about the advertising. So everybody who signs up actually gets their own personal website. So it's somewhere you can send your friends and clients to. It has your name and your little picture up in the corner. Anything that comes in on that is sent directly to you. Like they'll say, click for more information, and you'll get an email that says, hey, Billy wants some more information on this cruise or a vacation. Customers, if they want and they're technically savvy or know what they want, they can actually book right on your website. The paperwork gets done automatically and sent out. It's amazing. And then you can now also advertise some trips or groups that you may have on your own website. And then obviously tons of information put there by head office with maps and ports of call information and, new to cruising and traveling with kids and what to pack. And the cool thing about the platform too is it actually adjusts to the type of device you're on. So on a smartphone, it changes it so it's long and skinny, and then takes away some of the features where you have to actually click on them. Obviously on a laptop, it's the biggest, so it's kind of the easiest layout, and tablets is somewhere in the middle. But this is all stuff we don't have to worry about. It's what our marketing and tech guys worry about. Our customer database, or our 7Cs Club, is really, it's one of the vital tools to make sure we can continue to send out information to our clients. They actually, every time when they sign up to get newsletters, they have a chance to win a free cruise, which is our annual contest that gets picked in November. Quite often throughout the year, we actually add extra contests where people can win cruises. And the nice thing is we don't have to pay for it, head office does. They have access to information on the, booking bonuses and group staterooms. Emails get custom written for you and sent out. They also get this fancy magazine we call Dream Voyages. I've got a picture of it later on, which is really more of a magalog. It's a magazine that's meant to stay on your coffee table and look and make you dream, and it has recipes and stuff like that. And then our Expedia Rewards, which is the program that you have if you're a client on Expedia.com or Expedia.ca, where you get bonus points, which you can redeem for air or hotels or all kinds of things like that. And here's some pictures of the email marketing, kind of what they look like. Social media, we basically do Facebook and Instagram, but if you are good at those things, we can supplement it. We actually have a person who does that for us. So, if you're my age or older, you kind of go, oh, I'll get my son to program my phone or help me with Facebook or Instagram. So what we do is, if you want, we can have her run your business Facebook page and post for you twice a week or whatever you want, and help you maximize that social media. And then there's the automated emails that go out. There's a birthday one, and there's all kinds of things to help stay top of mind to your clients, and that all goes out automatically without you thinking. Also, we do flyers. I actually just put in my order for the September flyer, and I'm doing just in around the postal codes around the office, I'm doing about 8,000 flyers to be dropped just on in the post office, the mailboxes, to talk about our big sale that's happening in September. Dream Voyages is that thing that we talked about, which is the magazine that comes out twice a year. It's usually about 30 pages and has pictures and, like I said, articles, and it does have some cruises that you can do. And then something new that we've started this year is our Discovery magazine, which is just selected to kind of our luxury clients. And the last one was about expedition traveling. So, people that want to do Galapagos or Antarctica or really cool places like that. So it makes them dream and want to travel. And this is kind of how often we do it. We do a bunch of about 9 promotions a year. We scaled it back a little bit this year because of COVID, but generally we do 9 promotions. We do client events. Some of you may have been invited to some of them. We rent out a local golf and country club here and do a little hors d'oeuvres and do a presentation. This is one of our biggest sales here, the 3-day sale. We actually get a sale every year from Princess, and we are the only travel agency in Canada and the United States that gets this. So all the other travel agents are mad from, Trip Central, well, not Trip Central anymore, but all the other ones, because we get this is an exclusive sale. Last year in the 3 days for Princess only, we sold $40 million of cruises in 3 days for Princess in North America. It's just crazy. Our clients actually wait for this. And the sale is coming up in September. I think it's the 23rd, 24th, 25th, or something like that, those dates in September. So looking forward to that coming up. Expedia points, it's basically 2 points for every dollar you spend on a cruise. And that, again, is our parent company, Expedia, giving us those bonus so we can kind of cross-sell between brands. And everybody probably wants to know how I get paid. So first, I'll tell you, this is not a business that you can get rich unless you're really good. And maybe if you have 17,000 people in your LinkedIn page, maybe you can build this really quickly. But for the most part, the average person in their first year probably sells between 50 and 75,000 in a normal year of cruises or vacations and air and hotel. They make about $2,500. Now, I have to tell you, commission is different from different suppliers. Cruise suppliers give us about 16%, some as high as 18, but 16 is probably the average. All inclusives, vacations gives us 8%, hotels between 6 and 10, and then there's air that we make nothing. So when you book air, it really is just to get the client from Toronto to wherever they're doing their vacation. So obviously the product mix, the more cruise you sell, the higher your sales are or higher your commission is as a percentage of your sales. And if you sell way more air, then obviously it gets lower. But I think there's a couple things. Because you guys are, whoever joins as an independent contractor, it is your own business. So you qualify for all kinds of tax savings for running your own business. And I think the most interesting one is you get to deduct travel as a taxable deduction for your business. Now, there are qualifications. It can't be for your spouse or your kids. It really is about you building your knowledge about the business. So if you can prove to the CRA because you did a blog on it, or you posted pictures, or sent information out to 5 clients about the cruise that you were on, it really is a solid taxable expense, or a taxable thing you can claim. But obviously, if you go to the same place on the same ship every year, they'll kind of catch on that you're really not learning anything. But, the world is so big and there's so many different places you can go. The tax savings are pretty incredible. But talk to your accountant or your bookkeeper about that to kind of get the information, or go right to the CRA website. So I'm just about done with about 5 minutes to go before we can ask some questions. Um, so what does this cost me? So there's a one-time enrollment fee of $4.99, and it sets up your training and your cruise desk plus your website. And then there's an ongoing technology fee, which is basically your licensing for your Outlook and stuff like that. It's your email address, but it's also, more importantly, it's for the head office to write all your email marketing sent out. But wait, there's more. Oh, I know, that's funny. We have head office realizes that it's a really tough time with all of COVID and expenses are tight. So actually for the next 4 weeks, the one-time enrollment fee has been reduced to $2.99. It's still the $15 a month, but you still get the same stuff. All right, so if you're interested, kind of your next steps are set up an interview with me. I'll send you out the independent contract, and we actually sign it every year, and it's to make sure that the CRA views you as an independent contractor rather than an employee, because if you were an employee, you don't get any of those tax breaks. And then the next day, after you sign up and pay your $2.99 plus tax, your cruise desk becomes active, your email, and you can start actually doing your training before we start the classes. I think it's August 11th or 12th that we're going to start the next set of classes. All right, so it is time for questions. So let's see. Tananda, you had a question on the books and materials. Yes, they're available online. It's right on Cruise Desk. And if you stop a training session, kind of, you get interrupted or your favorite TV show comes on, you can stop. And then when you go back to it, it'll ask you, do you want to start there or start at the beginning again? So it is all online. If you're a paper person, yes, you can print it if you want. But certainly not only our stuff, but remember there's also training courses from every single cruise line and land supplier, because they want you to know a lot about their products as well. All right, any other questions? I can't be that good at explaining.
Rob,
Yep.
I have a question for you pertaining to the business itself.
Yep.
When we run into a client that wants to go on a certain cruise,
Yep.
he's been price matching all over the place, and he found somebody that'll give him a better rate. Are we able to price match that, or are our hands tied?
It is your business, and if you want to, but understand, and here's the tough part, if they're that price conscious and you get them for undercutting somebody by $10, the next time they find somebody who will undercut you for $10, they're gone. So I hate buying the business. I mean, and again, have I price matched? Sometimes what I do is I show value, and it's not just, it's me that you're dealing with and you get all this knowledge, but Expedia points. We have a program with TD for Expedia where you can also get bonus points on your credit card. We have things that
the
we get.
Expedia exclusive staterooms that we have. There's bonus perks with booking into our groups, our exclusive offers. There's a lot of times where if it's just dollar for dollar, yeah, we're not always there, but there's ways of showing that, hey, you know what? You book with me, you get this, 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 and this is where the price kind of balances out. And, there's times where it comes down to it where literally you buy them a $50 shipboard credit and you're there for them. And that's more of a gift than buying the business. So I've always looked at it. You win it for a nickel, you lose it for a nickel, and those are the most frustrating clients to have.
Well, my personal belief is you have to show the customer that you're going to be there for them. And as long as they're happy and they can trust you and they can come back to you and say, hey, I had a great time, I'll book again, boom. Or that they had a problem on the ship and you were able to resolve it, that's when you're going to get those people to come back continuously.
Yep.
As long as you can get their trust and that you
Yep.
can show them that you'll be there for them, you're going to make money.
And it's not only just the service and being there for them, but it's also the complete vacation. Sometimes, somebody may beat us by $20 on the cruise, but I can save them 30 on the air, or I can show them a way that their total vacation is at a lower price. In fact, I know it was really funny. Somebody was price matching with Costco, and I actually came out $200 less, and they went with Costco. And I went, what are you doing? He says, oh, my friend went ahead and booked it there anyways. And it's like, all right, well, you
Not
know,
everything's cheap at Costco.
I know, and that was working in the bonus cards for shopping in the store, and we were still lower on that one. And it's like, okay, sometimes you can't win for trying, and you know what? There are people that will frustrate you in this business, and honestly, sometimes it's family, where they expect you. Well, first, they know how much you know of the business. They also expect the family deal, and they're the hardest on you, especially at the beginning. And it's like, listen, you know what? I'm doing my best, and help me out with my business. And it is a business. And you know what? I can't sell stuff where I lose money on it, because I won't be in business very long. So, it's not like we make a zillion dollars on cruises. I mean, even though 16% sounds really good, it's 16% on the cruise fare and not the taxes and the non-commissionable stuff. And, it's also part of our relationship is because we supply you all the training and marketing and all that stuff, we also share the commission as well. So there is all of that. But like I said, if you sell about 75,000, you can do the math. You make about $2,500 in commissions, give or take, depending on kind of if you're selling insurance and cruise or you're selling air and all inclusives, you'll make less. But that's about average. So it's not like you can quit your full-time job, but certainly it's good, plus the tax breaks. And that's, on average, we've had let's see, Marie started in her first year and sold 350,000. She was an exception, but we have people that sell $750,000 a year, and they've built their business on getting to know some clients. And really, sometimes it's not selling 100 people a $3,000 cruise, but that's still $300,000. But sometimes it's finding those people that, quite honestly, it's the doctors and lawyers and dentists and businessmen who don't really have time to do all this research, and they'll spend $40,000 or $50,000 a year. I've got a financial advisor that he regularly books with me $40,000 worth of trips a year. And it's easy. I know what he likes. I know how his kids are. And, I do special stuff for him because, yeah, he's a $40,000 a year client. What if I had 10 of those? Well, then I'm pretty close to $500,000 on 10 families. So that's the ideal. But if you can find one of those in the first year and they send you two more, and by year 5, you have 10 or 15 of those people, you have a really big business on a really small number of clients. But the reality is you'll have a blend of people that buy a cruise every other year, or maybe a cruise one year and an all-inclusive the next. And then people that book many cruises, and then some people that, those really wonderful clients who rely on you totally to book them, and their disposable income without blinking an eye is 40 grand. I actually just booked a friend of mine who is a minister He just booked a $22,000 cruise. It's like,
Oh,
that's like, I felt guilty when I I sent him the price, but I said, well, he wanted this cruise and it's 14 days and it's an amazing cruise and here's the price. And he went, yep, okay. Put that on my card. I went, oh, great. So sometimes you never know.
it just takes one, and then one will lead to another, and
Other
one will
and
lead to
yeah,
another, and another, and another. Next thing
yeah,
you know, you got a big circle.
yeah. Maybe I need to join more churches where I find these rich ministers. They're not all
I
rich.
don't know any.
All right. Any other questions? Thomas, you've been very quiet. You just kind of snuck in, and I know you're there, but any questions? I guess that's a no. All right. I went about 5 minutes over, but I'm sure some of you, I know, Tanette, because emailing back and forth with you all day today, and um, Michael's actually just signed up yesterday, so I don't know why he's on the call again asking me questions, but he just signed up, so
I
he'll be
just
in.
want to make sure I have everything.
We'll send you the video again, and you can watch it over and over again. And then
Okay.
for the other people, I'll check in with you over the next couple of days, probably early part of next week, see if you had any questions that popped into your head over the weekend, and then let me know what you want to do. So again, everybody, thanks so much for your time, and we'll hopefully talk with you soon next week. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Rob.